perks of working for Marvel, for someone who's a fan as well as a participant, is they give me some advance copies of stuff, and I recently got the copy of this, and I always watch the special features, and this is pretty amazing. Some of the stuff they put on there. They have a bunch of kind of the animation and the pre-visualization stuff for the action footage, so you kind of see the steps of the process of kind of doing these incredible flying sequences and some of that stuff. They've got a whole feature-length documentary about the making of the film, which is kind of a cut above any making-of thing I've ever seen. What else? There's a
S.H.I.E.L.D. database.
There's a S.H.I.E.L.D. database, which as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can only talk about a little, but you can watch the movie and different kind of important facts from these S.H.I.E.L.D. archives pop up here and there. And there's a couple of fantastic deleted scenes, including a very spicy scene with Scarlett Johansson and Robert. And I think, in my opinion, a tragically deleted scene between myself and Gwyneth Paltrow, just for the pure charm of Gwyneth. I was pretty blown away. It seems like just the other day I was trying to make the VCR, make the VHSs work, and to pop this thing in and see super high def was just kind of amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I love this stuff. I grew up with this stuff, so I agreed to do a couple of scenes in Iron Man because I know Jon Favreau a little. He's a good guy and a friend, and then they just started writing more and more scenes for this guy because he wasn't in any of the comic books. I think he's the only character, kind of main character, that wasn't in the comic books. And then they called and said, listen, we're doing another one. And then in the middle of that one, they had me in a scene talking about going to New Mexico. And afterwards I said, what's in New Mexico? And they said, oh, yeah, Thor, you're in Thor. And I was at Comic-Con getting ready to go out and be on a panel to show some footage from Thor. And Joss Whedon came over and said, oh, you're in the Avengers. So it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving, and I'm just lucky. The version of Coulson that has evolved through the various movies so far is he's very much Nick Fury's right-hand man and kind of operational, And what I like, which they came up with really in Iron Man 1, I thought, is that he's kind of hiding in plain sight. He's in deep cover as a very normal guy, and what they keep doing, which is really fun, is revealing how much he's got going on in terms of top secret information and kind of intimidating skills. I really like the way the guy has been evolved in 3 movies now, soon to be a 4th, with different directors, different writers, and they kind of come to me, sometimes on the set, what do you think? And I say, well, he's different now in this movie. I'm learning something new about him. I love the idea that there are people who, even though they kind of operate in a kind of top secret, in possession of powers that I'm not sure who exactly gave them, they're there out of an ideal, and that they are the keepers of secrets in the Marvel universe that would twist the brain of any normal person. I always love the idea that when somebody gets elected president, that they must sit them down and go, okay, of course you can't tell any of this ever, but Area 51, totally, that happened. We have them. They're actually working at a 7-Eleven just over in Landover. And I love the idea that Coulson is in possession of, that Nick Fury says, okay, you've been promoted, here's another level of secrets. Captain America is taking place primarily in the 40s, which will make sense, I think, during the Avengers, and maybe even by the end of Captain America. So unless I was to play my own grandfather, which was certainly an idea I pitched, you won't see Agent Coulson.